I want to thank my friend Maina for coming up with this motion, but just like my colleagues have said, there is something that is missing in this motion, in the sense that we need to have an implementation framework within this motion, such that we don't just talk, but we carry it forward for implementation. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues have spoken on the heels of gambling in this country. I had the great opportunity to be in Las Vegas in the month of January, and I saw a completely different world with the different people, but one thing that I picked is they are professional gamblers, and they are also professional gamblers who are addicts. And around all the premises where there is gambling, we always find people who are zombies, drunk, drug addicted, people moving backward instead of moving forward. They don't know the difference between the day and the night. Mr. Speaker, the gambling culture is seriously cropping into our lifestyle. Mr. Speaker, the other day, I came across a policeman. He was gambling while on duty. I walked into his office, and the first thing that he was doing was gambling. So it's something that is seriously coming up into our lives. We all know we have had cases of suicide in this country associated with gambling. There is an emerging thread of petty thieves among our youth, stealing eggs, onions, and small things from their mothers so that they can get some money to buy illicit beer, drug, and bet. Whether we like it or not, this is what is emerging. Mr. Speaker, there is increasing conmanship associated with gambling, and I'm sure many members of Parliament have fallen victim of this petty conmanship, because now people are borrowing 500 shillings so that they can go and do gambling. And this money is borrowed at night, meaning our children leave home and go at night into the gambling opportunity areas. Mr. Speaker, we have heard about broken families because of gambling. It's a serious matter in this country. And Mr. Speaker, I know of girls who have fallen victim of being pregnant after being lured into gambling dens. Mr. Speaker, we are losing homes to bars. We are losing homes to towns. Mr. Speaker, one of the things that this motion has brought forth is the element of tax evasion. And it has also brought forth the failures of the government in terms of registration of companies. That's the office of the AG and Registrar of Companies. It has fallen, the Kenya Revenue Authority has totally failed in tax correction, because they keep on sneezing where members of parliament are doing a small business. But this broad daylight in television stations, in radio stations, yet KLIA cannot go to those people until when members of parliament start making noise. I say this. KLIA has failed this country. Some departments of the government have failed this country. Some ministries have failed this country. We have been seeing people are not paying taxes. Unfortunately, it has now come out very clearly. about 70% of the companies, all the TV stations and radio stations that Mr. Maina has read, they all belong to Loyal Media and Media Max. The big boys in television and radio business. And these are the stations that are at the front of condemning the government for doing certain things irregularly. It's a shame. Loyal media companies,
Honorable
radio stations.
Honorable Rindikiri, I want us to be reminded always of our standing order provisions.
I start getting, Mr. Speaker.
We don't make adverse, comments about entities or persons who cannot defend themselves before the floor, unless there is a substantive motion thereon.
Mr. Speaker, I am picking this from the narratives that were given by the mover of the motion. Mr. Speaker, we all know Inoro, Kameme FM, Mero FM. He mentioned them, unless if I should not follow that route, I stand guided, but it was brought forth.
Honorable Indikiri, the worst you can ever do is to contradict the Speaker. Once you are ordered to take a particular line, for good order of the House, let us keep to that. We proceed with the debate substantively.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, but I did not make it in bad faith. Mr. Speaker, this is a very serious issue. Even in business practices, some companies are paying taxes, others are not paying taxes. It is discriminatory in terms of business practices, where some companies are given more due advantage than others. So I join my colleagues to saying that it is a very serious issue. We really need to be sober on this. We are losing a generation. And it's like, Mr. Speaker, we are now fighting alcohol, drugs, our girls' pregnancies. Now we have to come with another one called gambling. Every day there's something new coming to our society. And it's going to be a very serious matter unless we do serious